Good afternoon. I'm Rose Allen. I'm the 2016 chair of the board of the Chamber of Commerce of Huntsville-Madison County, and I'm also with Interfuse Corporation. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for making this another sold-out event for the Chamber. Mayor, this luncheon is the largest event that the Chamber will host this year. And that should give you some indication of our members' interest in and certainly respect for your leadership. Today also happens to be Yom Kippur, the Jewish religion's Day of Atonement and the most important holy day on the Jewish calendar. To our Jewish members, we regret that we didn't realize there was a conflict with this date until it was too late to change it. And to those of you who will not be eating today, we wish you an easy fast. Now it's my pleasure to recognize our head table. And please hold your applause until I've recognized them all. Seated at my far left is Mitchell Williams, senior pastor at Trinity United Methodist Church, who will deliver the invocation in a moment. Seated to Pastor Williams' right is Madison Mayor Troy Trulock. Seated to the mayor's right is Dale Strong, chairman of the Madison County Commission. Seated to Dale's right is Kevin Burns, the Chamber's vice chair of Government and Public Affairs. Seated on my immediate right is our honored guest, Mayor Battle, who will be introduced later. To the mayor's right is another special guest. It's the mayor's wife, Eula. And at my far right is Jim Bolte, president of Toyota Motor Manufacturing North Alabama, the presenting sponsor of today's event. And Jim, we greatly appreciate all that Toyota does for our community, and I'd like to invite you to join me at the podium. Here's a small token of our appreciation for everything that you and Toyota has done and for your sponsorship of today's event. I'd also like to recognize our other sponsors. The platinum sponsor is Colsa. Gold sponsors are Aerojet Rocketdyne, the Boeing Company, and PPG Aerospace. Silver sponsors are Davison Technologies, Public Financial Management, Regions Bank, and SAIC. Additional sponsors of today's event are listed in the program and on the screens. We are grateful to all of you for the sponsorship for today's luncheon. Now please join me in thanking all of our sponsors. And we are really very pleased to have so many elected officials here today, so if you will, please hold your applause until I've recognized all of them. First, we're pleased to have Congressman Mo Brooks from Alabama's 5th Congressional District. With the Alabama legislature, we have Senators Arthur Orr, Bill Holtzclaw, Steve Livingston, and Representatives Mike Ball, Laura Hall, Jim Patterson, Howard Sandiford, and Phil Williams. With the Madison County Commission, we have Commissioners Roger Jones, Phil Riddick, and Phil Vandiver. With the Huntsville City Council, we have Council President Will Culver and Council members Bill Kling, Richard Showers, Jeannie Robinson, and Mark Russell. With the Huntsville City School Board, we have board members Elisa Farrell, Laurie McCauley, Walter McGinnis, and Beth Wilder. With the Madison City Council, we have Councilman Tommy Overcash. With the Madison County School Board, we have Superintendent Matt Massey. And from the 23rd Judicial Circuit, we have Judges Dick Richardson and Linda Coates, and Circuit Clerk Deborah Kaiser. With Madison County, we have County Tax Collector Linda Hall, Madison County Tax Assessor Cliff Mann, and Madison County Sheriff Blake Doring. With Senator Shelby's office, we have Carrie Suggs, and with Congressman Brooks' office, we have Tiffany Noel. From the Jackson County Commission, we have Chairman Matthew Hodges and Commissioner Stacy Ledwell. Now, please help me welcome all of our elected guests. And we're also very fortunate to have many dignitaries from Redstone Arsenal with us today. And again, I will ask, we have blessed to have many here, so please hold your applause until they've all been recognized. We have Lieutenant General Larry Weish, Deputy Commander, Army Materiel Command, and Redstone Arsenal Senior Commander. Todd May, Director of the Marshall Space Flight Center. Leisha Adams, Deputy to the Commanding General, Army Materiel Command. Brigadier General Bill Cooley, Program Executive for Programs and Integration, Missile Defense Agency. Major General Daniel Hughes, Director for Test, Missile Defense Agency. Major General James Simpson, Commander, ACC. Paul McConaughey, Marshall Space Flight Center Associate Director for Technical. Dr. Corky Clinton, Marshall Space Flight Center Acting Director, Science and Technology. Colonel John Jones, Commander, U.S. Army Redstone Test Center. Robert Moore, Deputy Commander, U.S. Army Security Assistance Command. Colonel Tom Holliday, Commander, Redstone Garrison. Colonel Michael Oshiki, Commander, Fox Army Health Center, and Dr. Charles Basham, Chief of Staff, PEO Missiles and Space. Our prosperity as a community is due in very large part to the way our elected officials and government officials work together, and your attendance here today and cooperation is certainly a demonstration of that. So thank you all. We're very grateful for your attendance and especially for your leadership in our community. Thank you. Now I would like to call on Mitchell Williams, Senior Pastor from Trinity, to deliver the invocation.
It's very good to be with you. Please allow me to pray for you. Great God, who lives within all peoples and all places, including this beautiful patch of the planet we call Huntsville, we call home, surrounded by so many good people. We want to be good people individually and as we live our lives together. But since today is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, we humbly and with some shame admit how far we've fallen from the peace, from the fruitfulness, from the justice you long for us to have. How we've allowed so often the worst parts of us to have too much control over what we say and what we do and what we don't do. That's why we thank you so much for those servants who bring out the best in us, who listen to all the people, who make peace in difficult situations, who balance mercy and discipline, who make brave decisions, self-sacrificial decisions, who work and live as true neighbors, who protect and clean and plan and build and employ others and teach, and who dream. Bless them all this day and every day with insight, wisdom, creativity, courage, and the strength to fulfill their callings. May these leaders be blessed with followers who give the benefit of the doubt, who take the time to understand, and respond to their leadership with grace and energy. We thank you for this food and this fellowship that we share now as a gift from you. May this time together remind us who we are and whose we are. Amen.
It's now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker. Just a couple of months ago, Mayor Tommy Battle was reelected to his third term in a landslide victory securing over 80% of the vote and continuing a long tradition of stable local government for the city of Huntsville. Tommy Battle is only the 7th person to serve as mayor in Huntsville in the last 90 years. And stability in local government matters. Just ask firms like Moody's and Standard & Poor's when they're setting your bonding rating. It's one of the most important measures they consider. The printed biography in the program today includes a lot of details regarding the mayor's birthplace and early career, but it's his leadership in our economic development efforts that I'd like to focus on now. The mayor has announced more than 10,000 new jobs for our region in the past few years, including marquee companies like Aerojet Rocketdyne, Remington, Polaris, and GE. He's also led initiatives to help this region capitalize on its capabilities in the geospatial, cyber, and energy industries that will pay tremendous dividends in the years to come. He's also invested a lot of time meeting with existing businesses to explore ways to help them become more successful and grow their business here. He's met with many new businesses also that are considering options of moving to this great city. Over the last 8 years, we've seen the most prolific period of growth in Redstone Arsenal's history, including recent tremendous growth by the FBI. The headcount on Redstone now stands at over 41,000 people. The city of Huntsville, partnering with that great institution, continues to grow along with Redstone Arsenal. The city has been awarded a AAA bond rating for the last 8 years, a claim that very, very small fraction of cities in this country can boast. And yet, with all these accomplishments, Tommy Battles remained humble to his core, a servant leader who would rather give credit to others than to receive it. Please help me welcome our mayor, Mayor Tommy Battle.
Thank you very much. You know, when you have everybody stand at the first, you ought to just sit down and say amen and go home. I asked our staff, Larry Langford, if y'all remember, was the mayor of Birmingham, and he always had dynamic entrances with his state of the city and his budget as it came in. He'd have someone with a briefcase handcuffed to their arm and 2 guys with Tommy guns coming in and all this other stuff. He even had it brought in the Brinks truck one time. I said, can we do a explosive entrance or something on that? And my staff said, well, let me work on something. And being frugal like they are and being on a budget, the best they could come up with was a folder that said top secret. So that's the start of our speech today. But I really, I would like to thank Toyota for being the lead sponsor in this. Jim, y'all have been great partners for our community forever and ever, and thank you so much. And thank you to the Chamber, who is a great partner in economic development. As we work through this last couple months, Chip Cherry and I have traveled to Japan for a week, and we traveled to Washington for 2 days, and I said, I hope I don't hurt your feelings, Chip, but we just need to be separated a little while. We're getting to know each other too well. But the Chamber is right there in the middle of every economic development project that we've had, and it makes the whole difference in our community and makes us be able to grow and continue to grow. So I want to thank each and every one of them for their support and what they do for our community, because they are so important to our community. It is a pleasure to be with you again this afternoon. It was a pleasure to be here in the great city of Huntsville. I am truly humbled and grateful, and I'm grateful for your confidence that you've shown in me by entrusting me to a 3rd term as mayor of the city of Huntsville. In thinking about this address, we started talking, and we were talking about it early on, and we started talking about where we were 8 years ago. And when we started 8 years ago, it was a challenging time. We didn't have the best working relationships with our regional and state partners. Our education system was unequal and financially troubled. Our infrastructure needs weren't being met. The city budget was coming up short, and a great recession gripped the country. Now, that may sound like part of Mo Brooks' speech when he goes his PowerPoint and everything, Mo. But we were facing some serious times. And it's very interesting to be here 8 years later, because today we're in a very different place. We're gathered in one of the most exciting chapters of our city's history. Huntsville is the fastest growing city in the state and one of the fastest growing in the Southeast. In the past 5 years, this community has created 16,000 new jobs and generated nearly $2 billion in capital investment. And just coming off of re-election, I use that quite a bit. Unemployment stands at 5.2%. Our city finances are stable and healthy. There's growth in the budget, and our city reserves are at $25 million. We received our 8th AAA credit rating this year, and that places us again among the elite number of municipalities to earn the highest marks for strong fiscal management and a robust economic outlook. That's the interesting part. We have had a strategy for 8 years, and that strategy is working today. And it's a result of strong planning, strong partnerships, and engaged citizens. And there are many, many partners to our success story. And each of you is part of the partners to our success story. The level of community support here is unprecedented. And that's one factor that you can't underestimate when you talk about the success of Huntsville. Each of you are deeply involved in our community. Each of you are generous with your time and resources. Each of you believe in an inclusive Huntsville. And as stated, each of you are part of Huntsville's success. We've worked to create an environment where companies can thrive, compete, and create jobs, a culture to support the young professional workforce and entrepreneurism, an environment where City Hall knows when it needs to lean in or just simply get out of the way. We've accomplished this by staying focused on priorities, and our priorities are simple: jobs, economic developments, infrastructure, education, quality of life. You can see these on the screen today, and these are the issues, and this is the list. Every mayor who recognizes that we are all competing on a worldwide platform focuses on these priorities. And people come to see us and they say, what makes the difference? Why does Huntsville succeed when all of us work on the same things? It's because Huntsville's smart, Huntsville is innovative, and Huntsville is collaborative. Being successful is no longer about being bigger or better than everyone else. It's about change. Recognizing the game changers in our competitive world, melding that change into our industries and into our product lines, embracing the change and using it to our advantage, taking the challenge of change and molding it into opportunity. That is what makes our area great. Madison Square Mall is an example. Change has made the older malls of the past obsolete, and we've watched them steadily decline. The blight of the mall seeps into the surrounding areas, making for economic decay. The answer to these older, obsolete malls is urban development. New urban developments call for a place to live, work, play, living in residential units, working in office space, or maybe even the work-at-home option, and places to play with entertainment, retail, and restaurants. These urban developments are created through partnerships, and those partnerships reset old, failing malls and stop the decline of properties, all in Cummings Research Park and along University Drive. Thanks to the support of our council, who is here today, the city will invest in infrastructure that will support new development and provide a rapid return on investment. The Mid-City plan that you see here is a vision of the mall's new owners, RCP Properties, a dramatic turnaround from an old mall into a mixed-use town center, and it's already spurring new investment in this important corridor. The mantra change also called for us to have a new look at how we do Research Park. The old Research Park was starting to show its age. It's a 20th century park in the 21st century. And we had consultants come in, and we gathered with consultants, we gathered with the residents of the park, we gathered with the owners in the park, and we started to establish a new plan for Research Park, one that will be the standard for research parks across the world. A plan that includes pocket parks, boulevards, denser collaborative environments, a research park that's made for the 21st century. Once again, our community led change, and it worked for our benefit. And then there are the organic projects. As older industries and facilities died out, we changed to benefit that community. And we changed those so that we can make projects that would make a difference in our area. Projects like Low Mill, Campus 805 in the Lumberyard. Who would believe that an old mill in West Huntsville would explode into one of the hippest and hottest artist colonies? They made me say hippest and hottest. Or that the old school would transfer into a new urban park with craft breweries, restaurants, and new businesses. Or the old Powell Lumberyard next to an active rail line would become a happening spot for artisan events, eats, and crafts. These developments, that is one of the things that we look at as we have gone through. We've been able to take what we have and we change it and we make it for the benefit of our community. You know, we were very fortunate this year. We were chosen to have TBEX come here. And TBEX is one of the world's largest group of travel bloggers, writers, and new media content. And they chose Huntsville as their destination for one of the 2 conferences in 2017. This is a big score for the city. Over 1,000 travel bloggers will be here to talk Twitter, Snapchat, and blog about what we have to offer. And they will talk about you, so be on your best behavior. But the TBEX schedule is amazing when you look at it. They're traveling to the Philippines, Jerusalem, Huntsville, then Sweden. That's just a natural progression, isn't it? The Philippines, Jerusalem, Huntsville, then to Sweden. But this is TBEX's first visit to the South. They could have gone anywhere, but they chose to come to blog in Huntsville. Another example of our changing environment is the Big Picture Master Plan. It's a new picture of our changing city, and you can see the displays that are up here that talk about our new change as we go through that. Our long-range urban planner, Dennis Madsen, led a dynamic campaign to create a living plan that informs our decisions and evolves as our needs change. This will be an ever-evolving plan. Most important, our plan was designed through input from every citizen that wanted to be at the table. That's bold, so we had lots of input, I can guarantee you that. What you see around the room is the result of many public meetings, tens of thousands of online comments, many hours of research, and hundreds of data dives. This plan is your plan, your vision of the place you want Huntsville to be, the change you want in Huntsville. And we look at this plan for every decision that we make. Part of the big picture is downtown. After years of effort, we're now seeing change in downtown Huntsville. For years, we worked to revitalize this area. A city's downtown should be vibrant. It should serve as our cultural center. Downtown should be the hub of our community activity. We needed people living downtown. We needed boots on the ground. From those conversations, a public-private partnership emerged, and 3 years ago, that partnership became Downtown Huntsville, Inc. So much is happening downtown, and I won't list it all, but here are just a few highlights. Twickenham is almost complete and can be put into the success column. The Avenue is coming online with new apartments and retail, and the first residents have moved in. City Center is under construction, and the city parking garage on Clinton Avenue is being retrofitted for shops on the first floor. And new businesses are snapping up the few buildings and lots that remain for redevelopment. We've completed a beautiful renovation of Big Spring Park East, and we're working with the same for Big Spring Park West. And if any of y'all see Allison Dillon Jock and tell her it will be done by April 1st. We will be ready for Panoply when we get finished. Also, the new gateway into downtown, Dr. Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, will also be completed by December. All of this development, how do you accomplish all this? We accomplish it by working together, in partnership. We work in partnership with our county, with our neighboring cities, with our state government, with our federal government, and we work to make Huntsville great. Mayors know that cities must depend on partnerships, working in conjunction with private developers, state or federal governments to deliver projects like this. We prioritize community needs to meet the frontline issues of our community. As your mayor, and speaking on behalf of my colleagues here on City Council, we are on the front lines every day. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg once said, "Local elected officials are responsible for doing, not debating, for innovating, not arguing, for pragmatism, not partisanship." We have to deliver results at the local level, and that's what we're doing. These ambitious projects take time and patience, but we can't stand still. Our job is to continue to work and to continue to work on more projects, to prioritize, to balance budgets, to work on this on a day by day by day. Huntsville is responsible for investing in our future through innovation and infrastructures, schools and skills, and quality placemaking. As I travel to other cities and states, people are impressed with how we tackle these challenges. We invest in our own, and we find a way to make it happen.
Let's talk about how we invest in our own. Huntsville has always been a can-do city. We may not be the wealthiest, but like our people, we're smart. Our city team works hard to fund the quality services you need for day-to-day living and to provide projects that matter to our citizens, projects that improve our quality of life. Through the big picture, you told us you wanted more greenways. To move faster on our greenway plan, we've partnered with the Land Trust. They'll be working with our city planners to provide better connections between our urban areas so citizens can walk a greenway to get to work or just to get some exercise. Our residents want more bikeable lanes too, without breaking the bank. We'll start that work next year with a corridor on Holmes Avenue from downtown to Cummings Research Park. Our 2017 budget also includes more funding than ever to repave neighborhood streets and repair sidewalks. Restore Our Roads continues to fund $250 million in major road projects. 72 East is complete. South Parkway, to everyone's relief, is ahead of schedule, and work is progressing on the 6 other projects throughout the city. We're providing more transit options by improving bus routes and adjusting ordinances to allow companies like Uber and Zipcar to operate. Next up, a new bike sharing program. Public safety is a top priority. We're adding new fleet, more police officers, and more tools and training. Our public safety officials meet regularly with our public, and they've taken to social media to help keep our residents informed. We're also investing in public spaces like Ditto Landing, and we're supporting new buildings for both the Botanical Garden and Burritt Museum. We're steadily renovating John Hunt Park, improving and repairing Big Spring Park, and completing work on the new natatorium, which has already secured a major swim competition. Libraries are more important than ever. That's why the city is matching funds for the new Baraka Library in North Huntsville and for the new Bailey Cove Library in South Huntsville. Our commitment to the highest quality public education includes new and better facilities to inspire learning. We've invested $279 million to improve our school facilities across our city. We want our students to find good, high-paying jobs here. To create more jobs, we're working to bring in new industry and to revitalize key economic corridors. Sometimes we provide infrastructure improvements for new projects. Our criteria for those are simple. They will help enhance our quality of life, provide jobs, and offer us a strong return on our investment. These improvements are usually a small percentage of the project's total cost, but they provide a big return by bringing our city more jobs and growing our economy. We believe our Gig City plan will also create new jobs, and that's why we're working with Huntsville Utilities' new fiber network. Google Fiber signed up to be the first customer of Mini. This makes us one of the few cities in the nation to have all the major broadband providers offering lightning speed service. Lots of action and innovation for a city on a budget. Smart, innovative, collaborative, that's Huntsville.
Smart, innovative, collaborative. That is Huntsville. And it takes a smart team to accomplish what you've seen. And I would like to thank my administration and my department heads who are here with us today. And I'd like them to please stand because they do the heavy lift. They're the ones actually making it happen. If y'all would stand, please. To my esteemed colleagues on the City Council, none of this would have been possible without your advocacy and support. Our council members are deeply invested in our success. Council President Will Culver, President Pro Tem Richard Showers, Council members Jenny Robinson, Mark Russell, and Bill Clean, thank you. And we'd also like to have a special recognition for Dr. Richard Showers today. Dr. Showers has completed his 7th term as council member of District 1. There are only 3 people in this room who have been council members for District 1, myself, Dr. Showers, and Devin Keith. But he served for 28 years, and he gave 28 years of service to his constituents. In my 8 years as mayor, Dr. Showers was a constant voice for the needs of his district. He never let a budget go by without ensuring his residences and businesses were adequately and fairly covered. And I can guarantee you he did, and he let us know. He was instrumental in the Dr. Richard Showers Senior Recreation Center, Research Park expansion, Restore Our Roads, and many more projects. Dr. Showers, would you please stand and be recognized? Dr. Showers made history, but he's paved his way for his successor. Devin Keefe. Devin, we welcome your leadership. We welcome you to the leadership team and look forward to working with you the next 4 years. Thank you for your service. Through this most recent municipal election, I had the privilege of speaking with many citizens, over 40 neighborhood meetings, coffees, civic gatherings, political forums. We listened to ideas, we heard concerns, we answered questions, and it was really a lot of fun kind of laying out a plan for Huntsville, telling people what we are doing and why we are doing it. It was exciting to see a number of young professionals attend these events, and they were interested in how they could contribute to the city, what they could do to make a difference in this city. And some were even interested in starting or creating a new business. Working from home was a very common theme. In Huntsville today, there is a whole new level of entrepreneurial activity happening across the city. There is more entrepreneurial activity than I think I've ever seen. 24-Hour Generator, Rocket Hatch, Innovate Huntsville, Mompreneur, Entrepreneur Brain Trust, Alabama Launchpad, Geek to Geek, Co-working Night, 3210, Huntsville Founders, and BizTechs are all programs that are working with us on entrepreneurism and how we can get our young people working. Write these names down and look them up if you don't know them. They are really on the cutting edge. 3210 recently hosted Andy Smith, the co-founder of what became the Daily Burn, and he shared his story with a packed house in Huntsville. In 2007, Andy and his co-founder, Stephen Blankenship, created Jiminy, as it was then called, and they created it right here in Huntsville. The pair took the fitness technology company through BizTech, and then they were accepted into Techstars Boulder in 2008. They later sold Daily Burn in 2010, and the company has been based in New York City since. This is a success story, but it's also a lesson. We need to nurture this talent, we need to help it succeed, and we need to keep it in Huntsville. Our entrepreneurial support system is vital. Also, when we start talking about entrepreneurship and then downtowns and then research parks and development, all this is part of Huntsville's GDP. But there's also advanced manufacturing. Advanced manufacturing has driven the growth of our local economy over the past several years. With Remington and Polaris now ramping up and Toyota set to make its 5 millionth engine here next year. When will that happen, Jim? In February. In February, the 5 millionth engine will come out of Toyota, 6 expansions of that plant. We have had some great success with advanced manufacturing over the past several years. Last November, we decided strategically to let our advanced manufacturing catch up and focus our efforts on a strategic pivot back to research, engineering, technology, and high-tech development. All the disciplines that help make Cummings Research Park into the second largest research park in America. This includes making a concerted effort to diversify aerospace and defense programs. As a result, RUAG announced that it will set up U.S. headquarters in Huntsville, and Aerojet Rocketdown announced it would locate its Defense Business Unit headquarters in Huntsville. We will continue to work on capturing projects like Dream Chaser to broaden our aerospace portfolio, and we will continue to work to recruit international companies that want to be good corporate partners and want to do business in Huntsville. Redstone Arsenal. General Weiss, thank you for being here today. Redstone Arsenal continues to be a major economic driver with more than 41,000 employees. 12% of all U.S. command contracting is conducted at Redstone's Army Material Command. AMC also manages, we have $40 billion worth of contracts. Today I heard it's $56 billion worth of contracts worldwide. At the change of command ceremony for General Gus Perna, we learned that AMC, if it was a commercial company, it would easily be listed on Forbes' top 100 list. On Redstone, it's just not the Army doing exciting things. NASA continues to develop the Space Launch System. And Todd's here. Todd, where are you? Raise your hand. Okay. And with Todd May at the helm of Marshall, I know that they will continue that long legacy of innovation and technical excellence. Todd, let's go to Mars. We're ready. In addition, we're very excited about the continued growth on the arsenal from the FBI. With the Whiz Kids of explosive analytics moving here, our Redstone portfolio looks very good. You know, from high tech to no tech, from the technical arts to the cultural arts, our makers, tinkerers, engineers, builders, and creators make Huntsville the envy of the country. But to remain economically viable, we need all the economic development tools we can have. This month, the City of Huntsville has been leading an effort across the state to have voters approve Amendment 11 on the upcoming November 8th ballot. Amendment 11 is about jobs and prosperity. It gives Alabama cities across the state another tool in the economic toolkit to land a big industry. And I can tell you, competition out there is fierce. When we compete for Polaris, GE Aviation, and Remington, there is a lot of competition. And the competition is fierce and it's getting tougher. Amendment 11 allows cities to provide revenue for big projects. And we're talking about investment of $100 million in 250 contiguous acres or larger. A good example is the newly certified TVA megasite in Limestone County, but is also located in the city of Huntsville. This legislation allows the new funds generated by the company investment within the district to pay for infrastructure costs governments invest in the project. It's a lot of big words just to say that we're letting the recruited industry's taxes pay for the infrastructure, pay for roads, pay for sewers, pay for land, pay for buildings. It's no new taxes, no shifting of current revenues. It's a win-win all the way around. So remember, this is your commercial time. Vote yes on Amendment 11 on November 8th. Our continued success with industry and jobs is dependent on education. One of the prime reasons industry and new businesses are attracted to Huntsville is the quality of our workforce. If we want to have a strong, marketable, professional workforce, we have to be intentional in making it happen. That's why our school system is vital. Starting in preschool, we must ensure our students are college and career ready. Huntsville City Schools are schools of achievement. The pre-K program is the largest in Alabama. Overall student enrollment is up 6%, and graduation rates are up by 22 points to 88%. At least 12 AP courses are offered in every high school, and 34% more students are taking AP classes. College scholarships have nearly doubled. The nation's most ambitious digital one-to-one conversion is well in place. There is a 7th through 12th grade cybersecurity curriculum with 752 students enrolled, and it's ranked #1 in the nation. Huntsville City Schools are listed as one of the 7 national cybersecurity centers of excellence. New partnerships with industry leaders at Huntsville Hospital, SAIC, AMERDEC pair students with role models and mentors. This partnership furthers a student's college and career preparedness. Additionally, there's a Magnet Academy for gifted and talented students in the middle school years, and a college academy at Jemison High School in partnership with UAH. Students will earn 60 college credit hours so they can begin college as juniors after high school graduation. And as a parent who paid for college education, I can see a lot of dollars and cents value in this. The schools have eliminated a $19 million deficit and created a sustainable $35 million reserve. We have a roadmap to the future. The school system's first joint consent decree to end federal supervision of Huntsville City Schools, the first since control was imposed in 1973. Now, a lot of us say, was this easy? And a lot of us know the answer to that. No, it was not easy. But real change of this magnitude is never easy. We had to turn every corner, and we had to work to get every student better positioned for success. Every student in our city will now have equal access to a quality education. And we asked Dr. Wardynski to be here today. We hope that you will have him in thoughts and prayers. His father passed away over the weekend, and he could not be here. But I want to thank personally Dr. Casey Wardynski for all the job that he has done the past 5 years in being the game changer for our system and making it so good. With Dr. Wardynski's departure, let us lend our full support to Interim Superintendent Tom Drake. To the school board, to our teachers, and to our students, our full support, knowing they will provide a quality education. With all the emphasis that we have on achievement, on jobs, economic development, infrastructure, we can never lose sight that everything we really do is about people. Let us never lose that human element. It's important for each of us to take some time to be a role model, mentor someone, read to a child. This is what makes Huntsville great. This is what makes Huntsville great on a day-to-day basis, the commitment to give back. I think of my family and friends, the people who have made me what I am today. To my best friend, my wife, Eula, thank you for standing with me even through an election year and for your outstanding work in the community. And to our son, Drew, and wife, Lauren, and baby, George, thank you for your continued support. Many of you saw through the election we used baby George for every photo op we could and to get every vote out of that little sucker we could find. To my colleagues, the City Council, the City of Huntsville administrators and employees, chamber leaders and citizens of Huntsville, I'm honored to serve alongside you. The honor is truly mine. We live in a great city. The challenges we face today are opportunities. The opportunities are opportunities to succeed, to win that global competition, to set the building blocks in place that will give us opportunity to succeed 10, 20, and even 50 years from now. And as we succeed, this success is not only the success of a city, but of a community, a region, a state, and it's even the success of a nation. Together, we all prosper, and we need to remember that today in politics. Together, we all prosper. Huntsville knows how to dream big. We know how to be inclusive, to solve problems. We dare to imagine and then we reimagine, to embrace the change of tomorrow and use it to make our success of the future. It's because of this, the state of the city, the state of this city, is a city that's vibrant, growing, and prosperous. Thank you so much for coming today. God bless you, and may God bless the city of Huntsville and the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Education, jobs, quality of life, infrastructure, success, those things don't just happen. It takes vision, intelligence, commitment, perseverance, and especially empathy and grace. And aren't we blessed to have a man leading our city that demonstrates all of these qualities? Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your leadership and for everything you've done for our community. And thank all of you for attending today. We are adjourned.